Sometimes the real problem in your relationship isn't the things that you see, it's the things you don't. The blind spots, the subtle habits, the emotional gaps, the things you're not doing that your partner feels deeply. So I'm gonna give you the three blind spots most people never even realize are damaging their relationship, even if you're not the main one messing up. Blind spot one: emotional absence during non conflict moments. See, a lot of people think they're a great partner because they show up during fights or big conversations. And don't get me wrong, that is a great thing, right? Yes, we need to show up most in those moments for sure. And there's probably a lot more people out there that don't show up at all, right? Which creates a lot of these unhealthy relationships during those times. But even though they show up well during those fights and big conversations, their partner feels alone during the regular moments. That's when they feel emotionally disconnected. They feel unseen or not considered altogether. See, support during conflict is great, but if your energy feels cold, distant, or dismissive outside of conflict, then that slowly starts to create quiet resentment in the background, underneath the hood, under the rug, if you will, right? It starts building slowly but surely because your partner starts to feel like they only matter when there's something wrong, right? And then subconsciously, they start to feel like they only get a real sense of connection to you whenever there is some issue to be dealt with, right? And it kind of can create this reverse engineered toxic way of them trying to connect to you by having issues, to where now maybe they start finding things to be upset about more frequent that maybe they don't even know why they feel like they're upset all the time and there's always an issue or something like that. But it's really because deep down, that's their way of finding and building significance with you and mattering and connecting and feeling like they're being loved in some really diluted way. Because without there being conflict, they're not feeling enough intentional, intimate connection from you, right? To build something, positive to want to connect around versus we're locked in emotionally whenever we're dealing with something that is negative or problematic. So the fix is you got to learn to be emotionally available when nothing's broken. Engage, check in, stay connected when you're not trying to fix something, meaning be intentional about creating bonded type of emotional moments whenever it's just pleasant, when you're in a happy space, when you're just in a neutral space. Get up in your partner's space, have a vulnerable moment around something that's positive, maybe uplifting, if you will, or what have you, right? Pop in to see how they're doing and where they're at with things just for good reason, right? How they're feeling about the good things going on in their life outside of maybe the obstacles that they face, or outside of you guys having any fights. Don't just wait until you just got done having a conflict situation and now have all these positive connecting days just after, because even that still is a residual from the argument. Wait till you've been having a great week or two and then pop up and bring light to that. Talk about something that is exciting or bonding, and speak life into them. Tell them how proud of them that you are, of how proud of you guys that you are. You both as a unit, happy for what you're building together. Whatever it is, create significance and a sense of certainty and connection through positive means, not just out of damage control. Blind spot two: self-focused listening. Oh yeah, you hear your partner all right, but only through your own filter, right? You interpret their words based on your intention, how you see it, how you would go about it, not their actual experience. They say, I feel like you don't show up for me. And you instantly respond with, before they can even finish the rest of their sentence, what do you mean? I just did XYZ last week, which misses the emotional need completely. See, because your reaction is to respond, your reflex, with what your perspective of showing up for them is. So what you believe you've done that shows up for them, but you're missing the mark on whether they see it as that, right? To where your very first question should be, oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. So what would showing up for you look like? Or where do you feel like I haven't shown up for you and why? Right? Get context. Because in that moment, the emotional need they're looking for is to feel heard, feel seen, feel validated. Whether you agree with them or not, you don't have to agree to validate someone's feelings, right? So they're looking for validation of their experience, which requires you to ask more questions and understand, not to tell them what you've done that completely dismisses their emotion at that moment, that time, right? And look, hey, no knock to you, right? We all live and we learn. Heck, at one point years ago, I did that too, right? Because I had the best of intentions and I'm thinking, oh, I am doing XYZ or whatever it is that this person is saying that I'm not doing. But I missed the mark on giving my partner space to just be heard so I can digest, well, what is she thinking, right? What does that mean to her? Instead of what I think I've done to walk around feeling like I did this great job that she wasn't feeling. It wasn't resonating with her because it wasn't what she needed. Now, maybe she hadn't done a great job beforehand articulating what she needed to me. Who knows? But the point is, in that moment, she was trying to be heard, right? And so it's your job, whether you're a man or the woman in the situation, whoever your partner is, to let them be heard, not to tell them why what they're saying is off because you've done the thing that they're saying you didn't do based off of your interpretation. So you got to learn, instead of defending your actions, seek to understand their experience. Reflect back to them what you heard emotionally, not just literally, right? So I always stress to my clients as well, hey, stop focusing on the story so much. Yes, the technicals and the facts, they matter, they help. But the biggest significant piece is the needs that weren't being met for someone. That's why we get into arguments. It's not about the things that happened. It's what it meant to us and the needs that were violated in the process. So you start focusing on listening to, well, is my partner not feeling reassured in this situation? Were they not feeling loved? Did they feel like they didn't matter? Did they feel like there wasn't enough excitement going on? They're not growing. Like, what's the need that was being violated? Let me reflect back what I heard emotionally, needs wise, not just the facts of the situation. It'll get you much better results. In blind spot 3, you manage conflict, but don't repair the emotional impact. A lot of people are good at talking through the situation or moving on, but very few actually circle back to heal the emotional impact of what happened. That's a whole different level. See, you might resolve the issue, but leave the emotion untouched. Your partner might still be holding on to the tone you used, how dismissed they felt, or how alone they felt in that moment, even if you solved it logically. It's never just about the black and white of what happened. It's always about how we felt about what happened and what it meant to us. That's the sauce. So if you're only dealing with the technicals, you're always going to have underlying issues still. Unresolved energy that still needs to be put to rest or vented or released. Right? It gets pent up and it gets held until it's dealt with properly. So if, you can talk through things and it can all make sense, but if you don't deal with the emotional fallout from it, you're going to have issues that are still festering that usually turn into resentment. Understand that repair doesn't end when the conversation ends. So check in a day or so later. Ask, hey, are you still holding on to anything from our talk the other day? Or was there anything that I missed on how you felt even though we resolved it? Just wanted to check, right? See, that right there, that's emotional leadership. And that builds trust, not just resolution. Just because you're not yelling, cheating, or doing anything toxic doesn't mean you're not contributing to the problem, right? Sometimes the things you don't do, like being present, providing emotional clarity or curiosity, can leave wounds too. See, the best partners aren't the ones who are always right. No, they're the ones who are always open to what they might be missing. So if you need help finding your blind spots, if you and your partner keep having spats or things are just not being cohesive the way you want them to be, or maybe you had relationships in the past and it was always friction and you didn't know why or what might have been happening on your end that was helping to cause it, so you can tweak those things to get the better results you want in your future relationships or to turn your relationship around now currently, then email or DM me the word coaching and we will get to work only if you're truly ready to put that work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, on the time, space, and maybe even the resources, then at least email or DM me the word transformation, and I'll send you the link to my transformation course. More notably, my toxic healthy transformation course for you as an individual. But even if you're looking to work on yourself in a relationship, or if you're in a relationship actively now, my other course as well, my relationship renewal course, that'll teach you the same things I teach my clients one-on-one, at your own pace, on your own time, at resource levels more fit for what you can afford right now. But either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.